welcome to my kitchen. It is Luann Pygott, and today I am making a recipe called upside down strawberry shortcake. Now, I made a strawberry bread, a couple weeks ago, and my cousin asked me if it was really worth making. That one, it was okay. I don't really know that I would make that one again, but this recipe is for a strawberry cake, and it's called upside down strawberry shortcake. This is the best strawberry cake recipe I have ever had. So if you want one that is really worth making, this is it. It is really strawberry-ish. It is so good. Okay, so let me tell you what it says first to do. It has some interesting ingredients. This first one is the most interesting. Now let me get this out of the way. Oh, I'm going to need that. All right, let me take this and turn this way because I'm going to be over here. So the first thing we need is a 9x13 pan, and we're going to spray that with some nonstick spray. And the first ingredient that this has in it is marshmallows. Now, I don't particularly like marshmallows and normally wouldn't eat marshmallows, but these just melt in the cake and you don't know they're there. But it's an ingredient in here, and this is one of the most interesting ones to watch bake if you have a window in your oven. So what happens is you're going to put the marshmallows down, then you're going to put the batter, and then you're going to put these strawberries mixed with the Jell-O on top. And the marshmallows and the strawberries are going to switch places. And the strawberries will sink and the marshmallows will rise, and then they kind of just melt. It's really interesting to watch them switch places. So I'm taking these miniature marshmallows, and I need a cup of them. And you just sprinkle it on the bottom of this baking pan. And this does not want to stand up. Come on, quit doing that. I'm going to get a cup of miniature marshmallows. There you go. It doesn't have to be that exact. Sprinkle those down. Uh-oh, these marshmallows are just flying everywhere. Why they overstuffed this bag or something. Now I always have a bunch of marshmallows left over and nothing to do with them. I don't like marshmallows, so anybody want some marshmallows? No, I don't have a way to seal it either. I need a clothespin or something. Is there something over here I have? Oh yeah, here we go. I got a little clip. That's what I need right there. Alright, I just don't want these falling all over the place. Let's put them out of the way. Alright, so there's our marshmallows. Then, we're going to set that aside. And we're going to take a bowl. And you're going to take some frozen sweetened strawberries. Sliced sweetened strawberries. Now, those... Oh, where are they? Are they still in the refrigerator? Oh yeah, they're still in here. Alright, here's one. I thought I had everything out, but I didn't have the strawberries out. Let me find out where I have them. Here's the other one. Now, I thawed them in the refrigerator for a couple of days because you don't want them to still be frozen. So you have thawed sliced sweetened strawberries. Now, this recipe calls for 1 package of them, but I'm going to tell you, you want to double this part because this is the best part. So, if you're not sure, they used to say sliced sweetened strawberries, but what you want to look for now is something that says sugar added, or look at the ingredients. Just make sure it has sugar in them. So you know you have strawberries that are sweetened. Frozen sweetened strawberries that are thawed. And it says 1 16-ounce package, but I'm telling you, do double with this part. So you're going to do 2 packages, 2 16-ounce packages of sweetened, sliced, frozen, but thawed strawberries. Okay, there's one. It's not like real easy to get this plastic off at all. There we go. And then it's only like peeling. There. All right. So then I'm just putting them in a bowl, and there is a leaf, a strawberry leaf on that strawberry right there. And I really don't want that leaf, and it's still there. Come on, let go. Okay. I do want that juice, though. So you want the strawberries and the juice. here in the sink out of the way. Then you're going to take, this is also double, 2 packages of 3-ounce size of strawberry jello. You're going to mix both of these into the strawberries. This is going to give you so much strawberry flavor. Now, I don't normally like jello a lot, but I don't mind it in a cake mix, to a cake recipe, because it isn't like just jello. And with all the strawberries mixed in, it's going to be real good. Okay, so then I'm going to stir this up. Then we're going to mix together. Now, this is a cake recipe that actually calls for shortening. I don't have a lot of recipes that call for shortening anymore, but this one does. Okay, so there's your jello and your strawberries. Double the amount that it calls for. Otherwise, it'll be a little dry. This just gives you so much more strawberry flavor. Okay, so then we're going to go over to here. If you don't have shortening, you usually can substitute butter for that. But I am going to use the shortening because that's what I usually do. And I bought a brand new little shortening because shortening, to me, has a tendency to go rancid really fast and it smells bad. So I bought a brand new one. And you want half a cup of shortening. So I'm measuring that here. It's not something I eat too often, so I don't have a lot of recipes for cake that call for shortening, but this one does. But I really think you can use butter if you want to. Okay, so there's half a cup. So we'll put that in there. And then we're going to add in 1.5 cups of sugar. There you go. It always makes it where you can't use your 1/2 cup measure. Here's 1.5 cups measure right here. Good. Okay, here's my sugar. Okay, here we go. 1.5 cups of sugar, and then we're going to cream those together. Alright, that is just sticking. Where'd that knife go? Sticking to my beater. Need to quit that and start mixing. There we go. It's just determined to do that. All right, there we go. That's better. Now, we have done that. Now we're going to add 3 eggs. Okay, let me get my eggs here. Here's where I'm going to do my egg. There's 1 egg. Okay, pour 1 in, and then we'll mix that. And we'll get another egg. There's another one. Egg number 3. there we have that. Then we're going to add our vanilla, and we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, then we're going to add, we're going to mix our flour. Let me get a bowl. Okay, we're going to mix this here. Okay, so for our flour, we're going to have 2 1/4 cups of flour. All right, so there's a 1/4 cup. Let me stir the flour a little bit to get it where it's lighter. It's not packed. And there's 2 cups. All right, so that's 2 1/4 cups of flour. 3 teaspoons, which is the same as a tablespoon, of baking powder. Okay, a baking powder. Come on. So 1, 2. My tablespoon thing doesn't fit in here very well. It's too full. So I am doing the 3 teaspoons. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little whisk and I'm going to stir those together. And then the other thing you need in here, the only other thing, is a cup of milk. Okay, got that mixed. So let me get my cup of milk. And you're going to add this dry alternately with your milk. Put that back up. Okay, so then we're going to add in about 1/3 of the dry ingredients into our mix. Just guess and pour about 1/3 of it in there. Mix that. Then you're going to pour about 1/2 the milk. So you're going to go dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. So you start and end with dry. Okay, then you're going to do another 1/3 of the dry. Oops, sorry about that. Bumping it. Okay, then you're going to do the other 1/2 of the milk, which is going to be all the milk, all the rest of it. And then all the rest, or the final third of the dry, mix that in, then you're done. Okay, there's our cake batter. It's really a good cake batter too. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you are going to pour this batter on top of the marshmallows in the cake pan. Ever seen a recipe that you have marshmallows in the bottom of the cake pan? It's really crazy. When I first saw this recipe, I'm like, okay. But it's going to, like, they will raise to the top of the cake and, like, melt. And you'll have, like, little craters of sweet spots, is the best I can describe it. And you won't actually see marshmallows in it later. They melt. But they will rise to the top of the cake, and the strawberry mix is going to sink to the bottom, and it will kind of swirl your cake when it does that. It's really interesting. It's really fun to watch through the oven if you have a window in your oven where you can watch it. Hey, you've got your oven set at 350. Now this will kind of move these marshmallows around, but don't worry about it. It will be fine. So you're going to pour your batter on top of the marshmallows. I'm trying to just get them all covered so they kind of stay. Pretty much stay where I put them. Okay. Look at the rest of the batter. So if you have ever wanted a strawberry cake that is really actually a good strong flavor of strawberry, this is it. The best strawberry cake I've ever had. Now what I do in addition to this, and it actually tells you to do this in the recipe, but you don't have to do this, but I cut up some extra fresh strawberries and cover them with sugar. So you have actual strawberry shortcake. So you can then top your cake with the fresh strawberries. And it'll make a lot of juice with the sugar. So I cut up a couple of packages of strawberries, like a couple quarts, and then I add, like, you know, half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of sugar to that. Let them sit and get nice and juicy. And then you have strawberries to put on top. And then, like I said, you don't have to do that part, but it makes it really good. Okay, so there we have that. Now what you're going to do is you are going to take these strawberries, the frozen but thawed strawberries with the Jell-O. I'm going to mix it a little bit more to make sure because it'll kind of settle to the bottom. Kind of mix it up some more. And you're going to pour this on top of the batter. Now, if it kind of messes up the batter, it's going to do that, so don't worry about it. Just kind of plop it on there. Look at that. Now, that is going to sink to the bottom. It's really insane. It will sink to the bottom when it bakes, and the marshmallows will rise to the top. They'll pass each other on the way. It's real liquidy. Yep. It's supposed to be that way. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven. This will bake for 45 to 50 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Okay, into the oven it goes. I'm going to set it for 45 minutes. There we go. Now, after that, you will cool it on a wire rack, and then you will serve it with the fresh strawberries. So I think I might go ahead and cut up the fresh strawberries. Let me get this. I need sink room over here. Hold on. I'm going to use this bowl. minute. Then I'm going to wash my strawberries real quick. See, there's one. Something in my sink and it's in my way. Trying not to have a disaster here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put my strawberries over here. Then I'm going to cut them up. Do I have, oh yeah, I want this knife here. So I like to go ahead, because I don't have a whole lot of time before we eat this, I'm going to go ahead and put some sugar in the bottom to get them started making juice. So there's like a 1/4 cup of sugar. Let's don't waste any time. And then I'm going to, and you can cut the strawberries however you want. I just slice them however you like to do strawberries. And you can put as much sugar as you want. If you will find if you put too little sugar, though, it won't make a lot of juice. So if you want a lot of juice, now some people say, well, if you smash the strawberries with a fork, it'll make more juice. It will, but you don't really need to. If you just add more sugar, they'll make a lot of juice. You don't really need to smash them at all. What that means is you didn't put enough sugar. And that's not all the sugar I'm putting in it. That's just to start. I usually put about 1/2 cup of sugar, I think. And that's about half. These are Florida strawberries, Florida Plant City strawberries. We have actually a strawberry festival that happens in Plant City. I've been to it several times. I haven't been for several years now, but I have been to it. When I had somebody to go with, I used to go to it. It's really a lot of fun. They have an actual fair there, like, you know, a Midway, if you want to ride rides, like you would find at your regular fair. I don't even know if they're having it right now with COVID. They might. But I don't know. I think they might have canceled it last year. Not sure. But it's like more like a country fair, and all of the churches in town have a booth, and they all sell some sort of food. And you know, you feel pretty good about it because it's all done by the churches. So you figure, kind of a nice, homey, country, old-timey fair feel. And they have crafts to go look at, and there are things people sell there. Like all different kind of little knickknacks, candles and soap and oh, what else? I've seen things like, you know, where they can put your name on a belt or a wallet, and oh, that they make things like aprons and all kind of little things people make. Or there's people that paint paintings, and you can go watch them and buy the paintings if you want, or just go watch them paint. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and put another half, or 1/4 cup, that's what this is, another 1/4 cup of sugar in here. Since I got half of them done. And yes, I'm going to stir that in a minute. I'm just cutting off the top of the strawberries and slicing them. But Plant City strawberries are here in Florida. They're really good. They usually come out about December. It's like December through March. Might be able to get them in April. But they are so good. They didn't used to send them down here from Plant City where I'm at, but they've started doing that several years ago. You can get them here. We used to have to actually go to Plant City, which is about 2.5 hours or so from here. A couple hours. It's a couple hours from here. But it's fun to go to the Strawberry Festival. And then they have things like pig races and They have singers. They used to have like pretty famous country singers at night, like if you wanted to go to the concert. And then they have puppeteers, and then they've had like Cirque du Soleil type shows. They've had, what else have they had? Oh, they have a couple of like older buildings, and it's done on the high school grounds, the grounds of the high school there. They have a couple of older buildings that are like, this is the first cabin that was built in Plant City, and they've like relocated it there. Then they have this teeny weeny little old post office they moved there. Oh, and then they have these people that are making things the old-fashioned way. Like how they used to build a chair made out of all wood, no nails, but they used, you know, little pegs from the wood, and they're like actually making the, you know, like they're doing it the really old-fashioned way. And then there's people who are like weaving baskets and doing all kind of stuff. And then you can get everything under the sun made out of strawberries. Strawberry shortcake, strawberry pie, strawberry ice cream, just plain old strawberries, of course. Strawberry fudge, strawberry cookies, strawberry candy, strawberry, I should probably get a strawberry milkshake. I know they have strawberry ice cream. What else do they make with it? There's all places to get strawberry shortcake. It's all so good. Somebody's knocking somewhere. I feel like that was upstairs, I guess. I'm almost done here. So this will be served over the cake. So you cut a piece of the cake and you put it in a bowl or a plate. Be better to put it in a bowl. And then you top it with some of the strawberries and the juice, and you have like strawberry shortcake. But the strawberries that are cooking in that cake are going to give it so much intense flavor. Here's my last little strawberry. And that did not go in there. Okay, so there's that. So let's look, see what we have here. Stir. I think I'm going to add one more thing of sugar. That'll make it like 3/4 of a cup of sugar I've done here. I am not skimpy with the sugar on strawberries. So you just stir it up, and then you can put it in the refrigerator. Cover them up, put them in the refrigerator, and they will make their own juice in a couple hours. Ooh, look at that. Don't even need to smash them if you put enough sugar. So it's actually the sugar that makes the juice. Alright, so let's cover. So you can put them back in the refrigerator. There they are, ready for the cake. And that cake is actually pretty good if you eat it warm. Covered with cold strawberries. It's really good. Okay, I'm going to come back later and make the rest of my dinner after that cake is done. But in the meantime, I'm going to go do my makeup for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and go now, and hope you all have a good day. Bye.